Hey,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rundown, your weekly influx of Skyrim content based on the backing music that Steve's got for us this week. What on earth, my man? Like, are you about to tell
Not
me you've
me.
got a quest?
I was just looking at backing. We got backing music. I thought let's treat everyone. It does have a shuffle option. Let's see what else
Like,
it is.
mate, honestly, sitting here listening to this, I feel like we're about to walk into a cave with a, like, it's just, I don't know.
That doesn't. There's a terrible analogy or example you've set there.
Have you played Skyrim before? Have you played?
No, I haven't. I know about it, but
Mate, 12 years on, still going strong. Banging game. Loved it.
Let's talk about the bigger thing. We're vertical. We're a vertical video now.
We are.
And I'm trying to get it.
And
this
Russ
is an attempt to get it onto. Just to let everyone know, get it onto Instagram. And I'm looking at my phone now, and I can't see it on Instagram. So it says it's streaming there.
Well, let's
We'll
say hi to the crew. We've got Wooly Mike, we've got Russell, we got Alucia, LL Coolpy, Tony's here. We want the TV box. That's what we've been told.
Oh yeah, your box. I had a few people commenting about that on the weekend.
Oh really?
Yeah. Your TV box is.
It's Britball News. It's Britball News.
Yeah. It's our Britball News.
Yeah.
Doesn't say much.
Liam is telling the truth.
Skyrim is 10, 15 years old now, that thing?
What? Skyrim?
Yeah.
2011, Elder Scrolls, and we're still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. They announced Elder Scrolls 6 about 6 years ago, and we haven't had a fucking thing since. Thank you, Rich. It's just, I'm sweating my nuts off today. So I have decided to show support for Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki.
I'm going to have to solve this thing for next time.
Oh, I couldn't give a shit about Instagram, mate. I don't use it. I think I've disabled my Instagram account, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Let me just switch it all back, see if I can.
Oh, are you gonna? This is exciting.
It shouldn't be too tough.
Not
letting me do it live. Sorry, guys.
4 minutes in, no Britball. Sounds like us.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? How was your weekend stream?
Good. I wanted to talk more about your cat.
I'd rather not.
Your cat drama.
I'd rather not.
Open up.
No.
The people need to know.
Oh, mate, it was emotional.
It was. It was emotional.
Mike is right. That is a tout fan behind me because I'm roasting. I am.
You can just see it. I've got aircon right there.
Yeah. You've got what we call back home. We call them a heat pump. I love this. I love this when I hit you with words that we use from
a heat pump.
Because what does it do?
I don't even care about it. Just move on.
What does it do? What does it do? It pumps heat.
No, it doesn't pump heat.
Well, it does. Because you can crank it up to like 32 degrees and it heats your fucking.
It's both. It does both.
Yeah.
It does coolness as well.
Yeah. It's a heat pump.
There's a lot. I've actually got a few long talking points. I don't think we're going to get to the rundown.
Okay, well let's. I've got one I want to talk about as well. So let's start with one of yours that doesn't involve my cat.
Cat. You made Lancelot part of this thing. People need to know.
Right. Okay. So he's a house cat. He is a house cat. He's a house cat through and through. Has been since we got him. We got him as a rescue. I wouldn't say he's undersized, but he's full grown and he's still kitten-like in a way. He's quite small. He's got delicate features.
Okay.
Well, he got out on Tuesday night. I had left a window open, and even just like it wasn't even that much. It was, and he pushed it open, and he got out. And I got up next morning, go for a shower, called him for a feed. Couldn't find him, and I fucking panicked.
Oh.
I came sprinting back upstairs. I was like, babe, I can't find the cat. He's not anywhere. I came in here. It was in here. It was this.
Did you look?
Yeah. What do you think? I cut the hair. I trimmed the beard. I was like, he's not under here. I've checked. I got the comb out. I went through every single strand. There was no cat in there. And, to cut a long story short, he was gone for 48 hours. I printed out 150 posters. I walked the streets, fucking stapled it on every.
Well, this is a piece I thought I wanted you to actually share, because I thought, like, I've never owned a cat, right? So therefore never had a cat get lost. And the method that you employed that worked was you and your missus were walking around local streets.
So, one of the things that you're supposed to do is you obviously you're told to put things out that smell like you into your backyard to sort of, because cats have a really strong sense of smell. So it's like entice them home with Cricket Pete held the cat for ransom. He's sick and tired of me talking shit about him. So you're supposed to put things out so the cat will smell it and sort of find its way home. Another thing you're supposed to do is, like, when you're calling for him, you're supposed to, like, they don't say call from in their name, because generally you're stressed out and they will hear the anxiety in your voice. Right. So what you're supposed to do is just have a regular conversation loudly. Yeah. So they'll hear your voice in a normal tone of voice. And so we were a block over, and he heard us. And straight away I heard his meow, and I know his meow. Like, I don't know. People
that's crazy as well.
Like, I know what my cat sounds like. So I heard him, and my girlfriend heard him. We both stopped, and we're like, that was Lance. And legged it down the little alleyway out the back, and then I just fucking, I don't know, turned into a 3-stone lighter version of myself and just fucking scaled this concrete wall, just like it was like sort of eye height, and I just jumped and just threw myself up onto it. And a sick tall buildings in a single bound. And just but then I was like standing on this fucking eye height wall, and there's a woman in her house doing her dishes, and I'm standing on her wall, like 15 feet in the air, sort of thing. And she's like, so I hold up the poster, and I was like pointing at the poster and pointing down at her next door neighbor's yard. I was like, and she was like. So then I spotted him, and he was like, "Oh my god, I know you! I recognize your face." Yeah. And he'd been holed up in the little shed that was like out the back of their yard, and then had been like pacing in the yard, and there was nobody home at that property, so no one had sort of heard him or had seen him and stuff. So I jumped down, grabbed him, and then like half climbed up the wall and handed him over to the missus, and then jumped back over, and we took him home. And now he's just fucking. He was pretty skitsy for the first night, but we're 4 or 5 days in now, and he's back to living his best life, fucking farting all over the place, like shat on the floor the other day just because he could. Just didn't snap off a bum nuggie in the litter box properly, so came out to the lounge and just decided to scrape it off on the carpet. And I was like, mate, you're going to find yourself lost again.
Yeah, back in that garden.
Yeah, 100%. Whose house do you think you're living at? You ain't dragging your ass around on my carpet. But yeah, so cat is home. What's up with your windows?
Nothing. I don't know. It fucking pissed it down a couple of times at Hertfordshire. I had my car right next to Hertfordshire yesterday. Like, the setup there is awesome, tower and everything. Mm-hmm. I was able to drive my car right next to it, which was just amazing. Loads of space around it, great view. Don't know if anyone's caught the live stream, but fantastic angle we had. It pissed it down a couple of times. Nothing annoys me more, because especially when
you get your car detailed every third day by the Polish people down the road. Like, you could not handle having streaks from the rain. Like,
no, it's not that. I don't give a fuck about that. I honestly left the house and I was like, it's not going to rain, is it? It's nice and sunny. And then it pissed it down twice at 2 different intervals. And one right when we started.
How dare it?
And one right when we were about to finish. And it's just, fuck it, mate, it's so annoying. So when we were setting up and anyway, I'm going to order some umbrellas, actually, it reminds me. But anyway, when I loaded my car back up, it didn't take long. Obviously, everything was right next to the car, next to the tower. And then when I got in my car and I realised my passenger side window was open the whole time, I'd left it open. Right. My car it wasn't even that bad. So I don't know why Nathan wasn't even there, and he's talking shit.
I was wondering. I was literally wondering, like, what the fuck is like?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the window.
Mate,
it's just
your car windows are on par with my TV box. What is going on?
Yeah. So I just like Mike had the great idea. He said, "Have you got heated seats?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Just put the heating on." I was like, "Oh yeah." So I had my aircon on. I put the heated seat on, and it was dry in no time. That was it. I don't know. It's a non-issue.
You know, Brit Bull, mate. Nothing's a non-issue.
What's this? Has Ted been in touch? Start multi-sport streaming after his roller derby experience, and just I don't know the detail of that. So no. Great commentary. Yeah, it was awesome. Really good. Having Wooly, obviously his normal, you know, I don't blow too much smoke up his ass because he's watching, but having him with, you know, his knowledge and just being able to throw questions at him as always was great. And then Russ was there.
Yeah, but he's just a boring personality.
And then Russ was there. You're a bastard. He'll say something in a minute, no doubt.
I know.
Russ was there. Obviously, he's got great knowledge, not just of like the cheaters, but like Brit Bull. The guy's been around the game like 30 years, but also like.
I'm sorry, Russ. I'm sorry you've had to endure that for 30
like
years.
But also things like the local area, like that stuff makes a massive difference when you're on a live stream to be able to talk about stuff locally, talk about the players and the team and all that.
He was able to tell you when the rain was going to come. When it was
going to leave. Yeah. Well, Mike was watching out for lightning and was updating the refs and everything. That was good. But yeah, it was. And then I was chipping in because I was watching the comments. So I was like, oh, this person's asked this question. And then relaying stuff if the guys need to answer it or they were reacting to it. So it worked really well. Yeah, Russ was awesome, and he just said he loved every second of it. It was brilliant. It was really. I like, you know, it's just nice when everything clicks and it's all smooth, apart from when it rains.
I just want to touch on this.
It was really nice yesterday.
I just want to touch on this. Neither of us want anything to do with Tibbs outside of what we have to deal with him in Sporting.
I try not to talk to him.
We do not ask him questions about his personal life. We pray that he does not divulge details about his personal life.
Yeah.
As it
told me
stands,
recently he's got a girlfriend. I was like, how long have you been working? He's like 3 months.
Yeah. As it stands, I treat him like Adam Schefter. Like Aaron Rodgers treats Adam Schefter. I'm just like, lose my number. Like, I don't want to speak to you. Like, so Mike won't lower himself to Southern Hemisphere levels because his back won't let him. And Russ has been a teammate of Nathan's at the Mets, Corner Sharks, and the Bob Shaw Classic.
I played in that.
How were those gloves treating you guys, just out of curiosity?
I played in the third Bob Shaw Classic, and it was the first time that the Bob Shaw family team won.
Which was the one that went Pete Tong because
what gloves?
Yeah,
gloves.
That was my introduction. That was literally my introduction to Brit Bull.
I was in contact with. It's really sad because it was Bob Shaw's family that were you know dragged into it because of the shithousery of It was Will White. That was the.
I don't know. Glovegate was my introduction to Brit Bull.
Bob Shaw's family about, it, and they were like, "Look, we don't want this stuff, and it's our dad's name." And I was like, "Oh man," it was like tearing at my heartstrings, and I was like, "Oh, of course you don't." And I don't even want to fucking, I don't even want to think about you guys getting upset about the actions of someone in the fucking sport. It was, mate, it was awful. But the Bob Shaw Classic ended up, the family took over. Their family took it all over because they were so. They wanted to, protect the name of their of their father, husband, I think a couple of years after that, it stopped. I can't remember why, but they stopped doing it. And so it's a massive shame.
I'm pretty sure Glovegate was either the last one or the second to last one.
It wasn't the last.
Coach Bob was a legend.
Coach Bob was a legend. Yeah. It was. They were really good. I really enjoyed it. It's the first time I played in the UK at a charity game. I played with other people, and even people still talk about it now. It was really good, and I hope to see more charity type games in the off season because I would play in those. I don't have to commit everything. I can just. I'm sure I'll probably get tapped up to live stream them, but Tebs can do that.
Make a small donation or something, and then away you go.
Yeah. What was that?
Make a small donation and away you go.
No. Make a big contribution to the game and the outcome of the game. My team will win. And
so you're not playing then. So you're not playing. You're not playing if your team will win. Your big contribution is you will not step foot on the field and be a defensive liability.
I will not disrupt this game. Yeah. It was awesome. It was awesome, and
So what was some of the other? What was another one of the long-winded topics that you wanted to touch on before we get to the reviews?
Oh well, you said you had something. So I'm quite.
Well, I was gonna bring mine to after. No, fuck it. Okay, I'll bring it now. What is your opinion on post-game handshakes and people that refuse to do it?
I'm not the person to ask.
Oh, you get the hump. You get the fucking hump. So you're a tosser as well.
Fucking right wing with that. But that's handshakes in general.
You're a tosser as well.
I've walked out of a job interview before because I had out my hand to shake the dude's hand, and he stayed sat in his seat and told me to take a seat. Fuck you, and I walked off.
No, that's fine. I'm saying that you should always shake the opponent's hand post game.
Yeah, that's what I am saying.
Okay, good. No, we're on the same page then.
I've got an extreme view of if someone doesn't do it, I lose my mind.
No, that's fine. Sorry, I thought you were saying that like if someone's been an absolute cunt on the field, you won't shake their hand.
No, always shake their hand. Always. I might have a word with them as well. If someone has like tried to hurt me or something, I'll be like, mate, you got.
Mate, that's the perfect time to have a word. You fucking grip them and you pull them in.
But I always offer my hand and always shake their hand.
No, there's been some. There's been some reported drama in a couple of games around the country. Darlington. I heard that there was a few people who wouldn't shake hands in the Darlington Northumberland game.
I've written down Darlington Steam as one of my 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. We have to fucking talk about that.
So okay. Let's not go too deep into that.
Kent and Cambridge. I've heard there was a few Exiles players who refused to shake hands.
You see what Jack said? I see it. Vindication of my trash talking if they refuse to shake my hands.
Oh yeah. If you refuse to shake hands.
No, if someone refuses to shake his hand, he's like, and I win. You know, like that's I've had a good day.
Yeah. No, I can't. Like, I don't care if that person's been an A-grade shitbag.
Like, I've got in their head.
Oh yeah.
But, do you know what? Even if someone has got in my head, it doesn't really happen often because I'm quite good at.
Oh fuck off! People get in your head just by commenting on your Facebook page. Like, you've got 3/4 of Britball living rent free in your head. So
But I've never walked through a handshake and thought I'm not going to shake someone's hand, or I've never thought I'm going to hit someone. I thought someone might hit me.
Have you ever been in a game?
Too, Kev, let me go in between you.
Fucking knock a sandwich. Let me stand. Let my 5'5" ass stand between these two 6'5" titans.
Hello everyone.
Touch me if you can.
Tony.
Yeah. Look like Toad standing next to fucking Wario and Donkey Kong. Have you ever been in a game where there's been like openly dirty and openly like almost deliberate attempts at hurting?
Oh yeah, and that's red rag to a bull for me.
And no, but that's have you still? But when that's
fucking mind with that.
And when that's happened though, are you still a shake?
No, like I said, if someone's tried to hurt me,
not just you, possibly a teammate.
Yeah, or a teammate. And I felt I need to like have a word with them, and I don't mean like threaten them or make them feel uncomfortable. Just like, you know, like mate, you don't need to play like that. Like that was you were dirty. You know, like that was out of order or whatever. I'll always need to like impart that. It usually will escalate. But no, like the only time I know that I can think of that like the handshakes turned into blows was actually Frankie Pankhurst got smacked by some bloke, I think it was Fred Jones, who like he'd come over and he played for some team. It might be the Aztecs. I can't remember. Someone's probably going to correct me.
Wasn't Fred Jones the fucking serial killer, like Fred and Mary Jones?
No, that's Fred West.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. They're all boring fucking names.
And then it might have been because there was a contingent from the Pumas that went to the Knights. So Norman Navarro, Frankie, Scott. Can't remember his surname, but he plays for the Sheffield Giants now.
And Spearing, Crespo.
Yeah, Spearing, quality player. And like in the wake of it, they got like T-shirts printed that said, "I'm Fred Jones, bitch," because I think he said that at some point, and it was like this running joke between them for a while. But yeah, I know of. You must know. Look, he's looking like you know that.
No, just that is like it's Rick James.
Yeah,
like, I'm Rick James, bitch. Like that's why I'm laughing.
But I'm fairly sure he said like something like I didn't say bitch, but he said I'm Fred Jones. Like when the fight happened.
Oh right.
It wasn't much of a fight. Like he cracked Frankie from the side. Frankie didn't even go down. Obviously, he was a bit shaken by it, like someone just jawing him. But obviously, you can imagine what happened. As you see your team like get smacked in the in the handshakes, it sort of kicked off. Opinions on team who wear. This is a ref thing. This is too ref for me.
I couldn't give a shit. You walk out with your helmet on. You walk out with your helmet on.
Why is it classless? I don't know if it's classless.
Because you won't show your face or some shit. I don't know. I couldn't give a shit. You want to walk out with your helmet on? You want to walk out with your helmet on? Walk out with your helmet on. Fucking cool. Just make sure
I don't see it that often. I must admit, if I think about coin tosses, everyone's got the helmet off. But
sometimes it's supposed to be like not an intimidation thing, but it's like show the opponent how like I'm already in the mindset.
Oh, the British hacker.
Hacker man.
Hacker man.
Yeah. No, always shake hands at the end. Doesn't matter if they banged your missus, tried to take your knees out.
Mate, no. I mean, come on.
Shake his hand and fucking give him a headbutt.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand. Yeah,
pull him in it. Yeah.
I'll probably go give him my left, and then grab his collar with my right, and just pull him in for a headbutt. I'll keep my helmet on for that, Nathan.
Just get no. Just because to me, there's few things that are as offensive as like a wet fish handshake. When you go to shake someone's hand, you just get fucking limp fish. Just give him the limp fish.
I've noticed handshakes have changed now. Even in the last I had like a bit of a 4-year break, and I went back, and everyone's now shaking hands.
Oh, it's thumb to thumb. It's always been thumb to thumb. Like flat. The time. Yeah. Like that. Since I've been
like this.
No. That has
or just fist bumping.
Yeah. A lot of fist bumps. Fist bumps.
I get that because of COVID. Like people were a bit more. I remember there was like elbow touching at one point, or they just stopped doing handshakes. So I remember that for that year. That was at 21. Yeah. So yeah.
So Jake actively encourages the opposition to try and punch James Harris in the handshake line because it saves the rest of us the trouble. It's because Jake is too scared to punch James Harris because James Harris would fucking deck him. He's Fred Jones. Should we get on to some games? And then we'll talk about your next topic.
There's two topics.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk about one in the middle and then one at the end.
I haven't even looked at the comments. Let's have a check. See if we have been way off the mark.
No, most of the shall we? So Hayden was refused a handshake by an old teammate and then told to fuck off. Did you relegate them by any chance? Because that would
we had a friendly the Knights had a friendly against the Wembley Stallions years ago, and one of their players refused to shake my hand because I almost basically there was right at the end of the game, right at the end of the scrimmage. I was on as middle linebacker, and they were it was 3rd and 35, right? And so I was they called the play, but I was like, fuck it, I'll blitz. And because it was 3rd and 35, I was like, well, if I'm offside, it's 3rd and 25. Who gives a fuck, right? And we were winning and all that. So I was like, right, I'm going to just fucking bolt through here. And I ran through to the backfield. The ball was stationed. I mistimed the cadence. They must have been going on 2. I can't fucking remember, but I knocked the centre over as I ran through into the backfield, and then I was like, oh, and everyone was going nuts and flags, and then like I walked back back to like my huddle, and that's when everyone started to like mouth off, and I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. I was just in the middle of everyone, and no one did anything. Like, now you're gobbing off. Like, fuck off. And then the ref flew a flag, and then their sideline was going ballistic about it because I'd knocked the guy over, and I was like, it was. And then I got taken off out just in case I was going to get ejected. It was a friendly anyway, right? So I was like jogging off. I was like, what? I said. And then
we were supposed to be reading people's comments, not you tell us a story.
What?
We were supposed to be reading people's comments to see if we were on or off base.
I don't care. I'm telling the story now.
But you've now decided to turn this into something about you. So anyway, we don't care about. Let me read the comments that I don't care about, and then somehow relate it to something about me. Is Steve Price's motto?
You asked me about this. Is the subject of handshaking, right? And I wanted to build a picture of what happened. So stop being a prick. So
I'm bored.
So I basically was taken out of the game without the official ejecting me, and then I don't know. 5 minutes later, the whistle blew, and then we were all shaking hands. And the dude that I knocked over, the centre, when we shook hands, said something like, he said to me, something like you should have hit me harder or something like that. Something weird. And I was like, well, I knocked you on your ass, mate. Like, I didn't even mean to. Bye, you know. And then one of his teammates, this dude, I don't even think he was on the field, was like, no, I'm not shaking your hand to me. And I was like, what? And then as I turned and said, what? There was like, you know, you get a little bit of a traffic jam every now and then because someone hugs someone and they talk a little bit because they might know each other. So it sort of stops everyone. This dude then stopped next to me. I was like, what's your fucking problem? And he just was like turning away, wouldn't talk to me. So yeah, that was my story of the time my hand was not shook. But I just laughed at him and called him a prick and then carried on with my life until now. You can't do this. Don't be a wanker. I'll come and get someone to fucking steal your cat, you prick.
Don't go down this rabbit hole because I've already proven that there's things that I will say on a live stream that have to do with you. So don't go down this rabbit hole.
I don't know there's anything that you could say. It might be, I don't know. Message me on the private chat and I'll tell you.
I don't know, it's pretty fucking mean.
I was just saying this year, guy wouldn't shake my hand after getting flag for unsportsmanlike on me. And then this year, opposition captain refused to shake hands. With 2 of us told us to fuck off.
Classy.
I don't even remember the story.
Who were you playing, Alicia? Who were you playing that refused to shake hands and told you to fuck off?
Nottingham would punch Oz. Do they not like you? Is that
no? It's purely because it's
I've got toothpaste down my top and we're brushing.
Paul's gonna have to clarify this. I saw him in the chat earlier on. Paul's gonna have to clarify this. It's only because I didn't go watch Nottingham when I was in fucking staying at Nottingham Uni.
Yeah, you do hate them. That's true.
Old 2 Point Torbay told Alicia to fuck off.
2 points.
Yeah, 2 Point Torbay.
That's right.
Right. Should we talk about some games?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So yeah, Paul's just said that definitely the reason that Nottingham is because I hate Nottingham because I didn't go watch them play. I went and drank Monster and sat in a mosh pit instead.
I didn't even look. I haven't even got the.
That's all right. We haven't updated the Exiles game, but I've got the score. I've got it.
I was in the middle of doing that earlier, and then this is how bad I get sidetracked. That was probably like 4 hours ago. I tried to update that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I went and asked one of the Cats players. So I might not be traveling to London if Tamworth shows up again. Very true, because Edinburgh could be in trouble. Tebs is telling Paul to grow up. Boom. Tebs got my back. Don't know why, but how much? £5,000 to the Emily Fund.
Oh, that's very sweet. £5,000
£5,000 to the Emily.
Finals, mate. Well,
Sweaty
you don't
Moss
even
Pit
get near
versus watching a
our games.
7-0 team. I forgive you. Mate, you guys struggled against Northants. And you're damn right you did, because I love them. So I don't know if I pick you for number one in that division. I think you might struggle with Northumberland, maybe. Moving.
You need to do a playoff picture thing soon, don't we?
Yeah, I just don't know how to do it because I can't be asked.
Okay, I'll see if I can pull something together for next week.
All right.
Let's look at the games.
Week 11 review. Hey! Manchester Titans.
Oh, no, there's not. Go on.
Yeah, well, there might have been. Manchester Titans 55, East Kilbride 7. Yeah, is there anything to take away from that? Let's be honest.
East Kilbride got 7 points.
We couldn't do this. Mike is.
Don't include me in this.
You don't want to do that, Micah.
I want to do nothing. That's what I want to do.
Steve will stitch you up and have you saying that the Warriors. You said the Warriors were going to win all season long.
Yeah. I don't fucking.
The only reason Mike is going to be able to comment it is because his team would have lost and he won't have to worry about coaching. So,
what's these comments? Manchester. Am I sure that EKP scored? Yeah.
Titans put it on Insta at
55-0. Okay. Then I'm not sure. These scores this week were compiled by Hatch, and he's pretty.
And we know how bad Hatch is. Hatch had Micah picking the Warriors to beat the Blitz. Micah coaches for the Warriors.
It's probably wrong. No, let me have a little look. Let me have a look. See if I can find the result.
Either way, Manchester scored. Anyway. Manchester scored 55 points.
We were right. We were right.
Fuck off, Mike.
Less in wrong with Baffa's League Republic thing. But.
Well, either way, this doesn't really tell us much because Manchester is very, very, very good. Yeah, we know you were wrong.
Cool. Cheers, Tony. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, this doesn't really tell us much. Manchester's really, really good, and they're better than everybody else in their division. And EKP are not on the same level as them, so it was always going to be many points too few. Like, what else are we supposed to say?
The end. I was talking to someone this weekend. I said, I wish the Prem was as competitive as some of the Div 1 division.
Oh, mate, some of the Div 1 divisions are just fucking nuts. Right? They're just nuts.
But anyway.
So the other Prem North game, Tamworth Phoenix 30, Leicester Panthers 6. What's your takeaway from this?
That was sort of, for me, I suppose, the beginning of the season, we'd have said, yeah, of course. Like, that would have been the score. But Tamworth has had a dip in form, a drop in results, and Leicester have been all right, you know. So I think I think that scoreline, the difference was larger than everyone expected, 24 points, or larger than I expected, 24 points.
I was going to say, is it larger than everyone expected?
I would have said, I think I did say Tamworth would win that. I'd say that all day long, I think. You know, and no disrespect to Leicester, but Tamworth are Tamworth. You know, they're still, I know they're not, they're taking they've taken a little bit of a drop in Oz's tiering system.
Don't you make me bust out my tears.
I can see you doing it for the South. So yeah, so what Ryan's saying here is actually one of my talking points. So we'll come back to that. It's about a national prem. I
don't think it would be.
Let's not get into it.
No. I'm talking about Nathan's comment. I don't think it'd be a good game. I don't think
we never know until we see the game.
I don't think the Blitz can touch the Titans.
But I also think that the Aztecs will be the other team that's in the finals. I've already said it. Big game between Micah's Blitz and my Aztecs.
Why does Steve like the Aztecs so much?
Oh, because I played for them last year, and I think they're a fantastic organization. So like that's why I like them so much. And fair enough, like I get the reaction from a Blitz coach and probably from everyone else. I think most people at the moment, their hearts and minds will be won over by the Blitz, and I get that. I love the Blitz, by the way. I think they're fucking awesome. But I've got a bias towards the Aztecs, and I think they're an amazing organization. I think they're a great team, and I back them to win, to get the second spot in the South. Did you play or chill on the bench? Yeah. Everyone keeps fucking saying this to me. I did play, yeah.
Blitz did already beat the Aztecs earlier.
It did, and
yes,
I think the Aztecs will split the series and take the point difference.
I think you're wrong.
That's
I think you're well and truly wrong, and I can't wait for the reverse fixture to rub it in your face.
Well, we're live streaming it, which is going to be cool. Yeah, of course. As always, right? If it happens, I get it rubbed in my face, but that's me sticking my neck out and saying that's what I think will happen. And that's what I want to happen. I think that's right as well. I haven't played the Blitz Warriors and Aztecs. Blitz and Warriors of depth. I bet with more depth. No, not a chance. Yeah, cool. Right, let's move. We're not even talking about.
No. So I just wanted to touch on Tamworth Leicester just for a quick second.
Yeah,
I think this was run of the mill. This was expected when they played each other earlier on.
Not a 24-point difference though, surely.
Mate, they beat them 27-6 earlier on. It's a 3-point. Like this is literally pretty much what they did last time, but a little bit better. And they may have their QB back. And that's why they were able to score 3 more points. Because if you remember, Tamworth lost their QB early in the season. We thought it might be season ending, but we're told no, he's just rocking around on a moon boot. He may be back by now. I don't know. But I don't think this is surprising. I think this is what was expected.
Like I said, I think the results expected. In my mind, I was thinking a tighter.
If I'm Merseyside, I don't care that we lost 30-6. If I'm Leicester, I don't care we lost 30-6 with Tamworth. I am focused on the Merseyside game.
Oh yeah,
that is the game that is living rent free.
And it's the same in the Prem South. The bottom 3 teams are going to want to be beating each other rather than caring about how they do against the top 3 teams.
Actually, I think Cambridge wants to see how they do against the top 3 because they've got the Aztecs in 3 weeks, and I think they'll be fucking psyched for that.
Yep, I think so too. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Again. Moving to the Prem South, Cambridge. Speaking of them, they played the Exiles and they beat them 53-12. And then the Exiles got
are the Exiles already relegated?
Yeah, they are. So nobody gives a shit about them. The Exiles got the hump and refused to shake some cats' hands because they are tossers.
Oh, is that where that came from? I thought it came from this Northumberland game.
No. So there was multiple. This is why I wanted it to bring a talking point because it seems like It seems like this. No, I think I'll pick Cambridge over the Aztecs as well.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to ignore you guys.
But it seems like that there is an abundance of toss spots in the. So Wes has just mentioned that he isn't back. I'm assuming that is in response to Tamworth QB. So if he's not back, that's great. You've still put up 30 on Leicester. We hope he heals up and helps you guys make
it. Right? The Blitz and Aztecs are both on a 5-1 record at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are acting like
that can't be. What have the Aztecs just not played the Warriors at all then? Because they can't be 5-1 because they lost to the Blitz.
Let me see. Yeah, so they've beat Exiles twice. They
haven't played the Warriors yet.
They've beat Solent twice. Yeah, they haven't played the Warriors yet.
So they've got Cambridgeshire in 3 weeks, and then they've got Blitz and they've got Warriors to finish out. So they're probably going to finish their season 0-3, possibly 0-4.
Finish their season.
I think they can very realistically lose out from this point on.
We'll see. I don't know. I just need to give me a sec. I just need to edit something on the website.
Okay.
Sorry. The Kent Exile. Where did you hear this about Kent guys not refusing to shake hands and? Or you're not telling me your sources?
I'm not telling you my sources.
Oh, boring.
But it was also that's the thing. I'd heard it from the Northumberland game. I'd heard it from the Cats game, and I'd heard that there were Leeds players after the Northumberland game that refused to shake Northumberland players' hands as well. And there we go. We got Cats. So Addy's just mentioned that it happened, refusing to, and Chris is not happy with the disrespect. Me saying 0-4.
They're technically not relegated yet because are they? They're 0-6. If they won out, they'd be 4-6.
I mean, they're technically relegated because they're not very good.
They're not mathematically relegated, though.
They're not mathematically relegated,
Yeah,
but
okay,
I don't
good.
see them winning a game this year.
That's what I wanted to check, and that's his.
And when I say they're not very good, I mean in relation to the other teams in their division.
Yeah.
So Wes has just said he was talking about Tamworth QB when he was throwing the warm-ups. Don't think he's far off, and they have back-to-back games against Nighthawk to ease him back, and then the last 2 games against Wolves and Titans. Be big 2 games there for Tamworth. That Wolves game is going to be huge. That will decide who makes playoffs.
Will it?
For them, it will. Because the other 3 teams in that division are EKP, Leicester, and Merseyside. Exiles ain't beaten Solent and Cambridge. Yeah, we know that. So AD said that not all of Kent refused to shake hands. Which I've never seen. I've never seen a wholesale team refusing to shake hands, like in Britball. I don't think that happens. But I have definitely seen players refusing to shake hands.
Yeah, I've not seen it either.
A whole team refusing to play. Refusing to shake hands would be unprecedented. Like that would be mind-blowing.
I wonder if they get sanctions from BAFA. Like, is it that bad? Yeah. Bringing the game into disrepute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like would that warrant it? And I don't think people would mind if that happened, would they? Like if you heard X team just completely blanked the other team. Yeah. Like and they got, I don't know, 2-point deduction or whatever.
Forfeited the rest of their games and got banged to associate.
Yeah, something reasonable. Yeah.
Imagine that you're a Div 1 team, you get banged down to associate for not shaking hands.
Oh, mate.
So Chris has just said he's also seen someone get punched during handshakes. So Chris is talking about the Frankie incident.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about. Yeah.
Well, Chris wasn't here to watch that when it happened.
I don't think Chris was there when. Oh yeah. So it must have been for the Aztecs. It must have been Fred Jones when he was playing, and he must have been playing for the Aztecs. Because
I was going to say Chris must have seen it because he's just told us that he saw Frankie get punched.
Yeah. He could have been at the game.
Well, you could have been calling him a liar. Speaking of the Aztecs, they beat the Solent Thrashers 50 points to 3.
Yeah. So how does this play into your tiering?
Well, I can't put Solent into the Exiles tier, even though I'd like to, because they thoroughly handled the Exiles when they played them.
Well, that's what you did. Well, that's what you fucking did, mate.
Well, I didn't.
Maybe the Exiles aren't. Maybe the Aztecs aren't as bad as you keep making them out to be.
I'm not saying they're bad.
Well, you are. Well, you did.
No, I just think Solent aren't very good. They've conceded 98 points to 10 against Bristol. And then,
they beat. So you see that as a sign that Solent aren't as good.
Well, they beat Kent.
The Aztecs being good.
They beat Kent. Like, they haven't convincingly shown us anything since week 1. They came out and they beat Cambridgeshire 41-20 in week 1, and then have proceeded to shit the bed ever since, except for against Kent. I don't think they're very good in relation to the rest of their division.
Okay.
I think they would beat the other teams. Like, this is a whole Prem versus Div 1. I think they would, beat the Div 1 teams. But in relation to the other Prem teams, I don't think they're as good apart from Kent. Like, the other 4 teams in the division are clearly better than them.
So Kent, this is interesting. Kent's remaining 4 games. They play the Cats twice, and then they play the Blitz and the Thrashers.
That Blitz. If they beat the Thrashers?
What if Kent Exiles are the Cambridgeshire Cats bogey team? Do you know what I mean? Like the
I believe in the Cats
against the rub of the green or against the grain. They just find it easy for them to
You believe in the Aztecs. I believe in the Cats. Now I don't believe either team will make the playoffs. Like I think it's Blitz Warriors. Like that's all there is to it. Yeah, you haven't got the fact that the Exiles play the Cats. They played like last week.
Sorry, I've got it. The result isn't up yet. That's why thanks, AD. So yeah, they've got to play them again. And
yeah, the Cats kicked the shit. The Cats kicked the shit out of them. Like
yes, they've got 3 games left.
Yeah,
and that's Blitz,
Thrashers,
and the Cats. So they can't be that bogey team.
Yeah, the Cats kicked the shit out of them last time. Yeah, I don't think Bristol makes the playoffs. I don't think Cambridge makes the playoffs. I think it's Blitz Warriors.
The 2 London teams, yeah.
2 London teams. There has not been enough shown to change the status quo yet.
Yep, I agree.
Like it's all that. Nathan says Exiles 0-10. I believe so.
But I agree that there's not been enough shown for people to be swayed towards the Aztecs, and I get that, but I am, and post that game we'll talk again.
Yeah,
that's it. As always.
Always.
Let's move on. Let's move down to the up to the
Scotland.
NFC 1 Scottish.
Scottish.
Rather than Scotland, they called it Scottish.
Scottish. Yeah, they're very hard T's, hard bites on the T's.
Why wouldn't you not just call it NFC 1 Scotland?
Because they're not Scotland, they're Scottish.
Oh, it's not in Scotland?
No, but they're Scottish.
So why is it not NFC 1 Centralish?
Well, it's not. It's Scottish.
NFC 1 Southish.
But it's not. It's stop being so shellfish. Aberdeen, Clyde Valley. NFC 1 Scottish. Clyde Valley 12.
I think you called Clyde
Aberdeen
Valley.
10. I did call Clyde Valley.
Fucking prick, because I went for the.
You did go for Aberdeen.
It was a close game. I don't feel so bad about losing that.
It was a very close game, 12-10. I thought Clyde Valley were the best of a bad bunch after Glasgow and Highland, and they proved me right. So well done, Clyde Valley.
That's a very close game at 10-12, right?
But you pulled it back on the NFC 1 Central. Geography is a bit ish.
I couldn't believe this scoreline,
mate.
But I did. But what I said was true. I said the Rams are still reeling from their loss to the Vikings,
and there was no refs for the Scotland game. No one wanted to make the trip. No one wanted to make the trip.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's in fucking Aberdeen,
mate. I'm off to Aberdeen. It's locked in. First week of July, I've got to go up there I've got to go to Inverness and Aberdeen for work.
Ugh.
I've got a 6-hour drive ahead of me. I can't wait. Only game in Scotland and no refs. What a fucking joke. What an action. Oh, the Scottish refs went to Newcastle for the Northumberland game.
Fucking
the Scottish refs
which we need to get to, which was not even a full game.
Yeah, we will get to that. But NFC 1 Central, Scunthorpe 20, Yorkshire 8.
Just couldn't believe this as it was coming through, seeing the score update. I think it was Mikey that was updating us.
3-4 for Yorkshire. That is a huge loss. I think that dashes that essentially puts them out of a playoff hunt to me.
Yeah.
Two big L's on the trot. Like that.
But let's not take away from the win that was for the Alphas.
Scunthorpe. Right? And we got told last week that Scunthorpe lost their QB.
Did we? I don't remember anything.
Yeah, we got told. So if anybody is from Scunthorpe, it can confirm. But we were told last week that the Scunthorpe lost their QB last week. So was it just a half game absence, and he was back this week, or did they literally win this game with a backup QB and just severely pulled down Yorkshire's pants?
Wildcat. They put their fastest wide receiver as Wildcat.
I want to know if Yorkshire shook hands afterwards.
An extra blocker on, and that was it.
That doesn't help. Tibbs, they just says they did.
They did, yeah. Good old Tibbs.
Thanks, there we go. There we go. We've been told they beat them with a backup.
Wow.
Beat them with it, mate. That is so clutch from Scunthorpe. Like the ascendancy that they've had from the last 2 years, is incredible to see.
Another club doing everything right,
doing it the right way. Like
same as the Bristol Aztecs, who you don't seem to like. They do everything right.
It's not I don't seem to like them. It's just the fact they're coming up against the fucking buzzsaw that's London. Like,
let's not get back into it because everyone gets upset.
Yeah, Yorkshire's messing with my tier system. It's out the window like the cat.
You need your own show just to talk through tiers of each fucking league.
Mate, Oz's tiers.
At the end of the season.
This is me crying.
There's 6 teams in this league, and I've got 6 tiers.
I've got 5 tiers. No, I wouldn't have 6. I'd never have 6. I'd have 5. There would be 2 teams that were bundled together, but then there'd be 4 others. There'd be 5 tiers. Like, you can only have a maximum. If it's a 16 div, you can only have 5 tiers maximum.
Ted, what's this roller derby thing that or derby? I don't know how you say.
Is he out trying to find himself a gothic girlfriend? I thought you said he had a girlfriend.
No. This is, I don't know what this is. It must have been something that happened.
He's out tackling large black-haired dykes.
He was at Bristol yesterday, wasn't he, Tebs?
I don't care if he was in Bristol because this is the game you wanted to talk about. NFC 1 Central, Northumberland Vikings. 50.
I more want you to talk about it because you've got the scoop. You had all the info about this game, but I
wouldn't say I had the scoop. I wouldn't say I had the scoop, but I got told that let me quote, and I will quote. So game was the halftime was called at the 2-minute mark as Darlington got called for not having enough linemen on the field. The guest, the person I talked to, his guess was when the offense decided to celebrate in their end zone. So Northumberland scored, decided to celebrate in their end zone post touchdown, and Darlington got the hump, and then stopped sending out players. So they got flagged multiple times for not having enough linemen on the field. And then it was discussed at halftime and agreed that the 50 points that they'd scored already would stand and that the game would be called at halftime. It didn't get called until Northumberland came back out in the second half to warm up. But Darlington's head coach apparently stormed off and quit.
Yeah, is this true? Because I think everyone knows I'm not a big fan of this bloke. I think he's an idiot. Did he actually quit the club? Is that like confirmed?
I got messages. I got
messages.
messages.
Toys out and went home. You know.
Well, I got messages from 3 different people telling me that he stormed off and quit at halftime. Now I don't know if he has officially resigned.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I mean,
if it has, it's hilarious, but I doubt it.
Someone could go ask him.
Yeah. I'm not. I want nothing to do with the geezer.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. What's the show called?
I don't know, mate.
Where are we? But 50-0.
Yeah, and that's not even a half-time score. That was a game called at the 2-minute warning of the first half.
Yeah.
Jesus. So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Darlington's team.
I've just asked if they quit at halftime.
Paul, I knew the name of it. I was just being callous. I just think they're a bunch of knobheads. But thanks for letting us know. The shithousery. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
They won't answer, man. Like, well, you might have to watch it because they might talk. Yeah, that's what he's just done. Joseph is asking.
I'm not sure. I've just asked.
They might say it. Like they might verbally answer. They will verbally answer. They're not going to tell you. Type it, are they? So you'll probably miss it unless you.
Oh, but I've closed the window. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, 50 points.
Someone else might have both on there. Tell us, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. 50 points. 50 points to nil. Northumberland.
You'll end up like trebling their viewing figures.
I don't know. This to me is: do we take anything away from this game in terms of Northumberland when they are running up against Nottingham and Highland? Like, do you take anything away from this, or do you just
take anything away?
Yeah, I was going to say, or you just go, look, they put 50 on Darlington at halftime. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah, nothing you can say. Tom said, didn't they used to be under your site? Yeah, they did. Yeah. And
moving on.
Yeah.
So for,
time.
for Northumberland, the
Scunthorpe Yorkshire. Let me just tell you that.
The Scunthorpe Yorkshire reverse, like the reverse fixture of that, is going to be so juicy for playoff implications because Northumberland,
Scunthorpe Rams,
Yorkshire reverse, So Northumberland seemingly have booked their ticket to the playoffs. They're in.
Yeah.
They will be looking ahead to. So they will be looking ahead to
Nottingham as well.
Nottingham. No, but I'm talking sort of Nottingham and Highland, and they'll be looking at points conceded because they want the number 1 seed. They want the bye or whatever. So I think it's a bye. I think there's a bye in Div 1. I think isn't it top 3 or some shit? I can't remember. See, I need to look at the playoff.
Well, this is why I need to do the playoff because I've got the bracket. There's seedings. I've got the rules for the seedings, I think, and we can just have a look and try and figure it out.
No, you missed it, Matt. I did this myself when searching for my cat.
We've already talked about this.
There
are different conferences.
No, there are different conferences, but they will play.
Yeah.
So Nottingham is NFC 1 South. Yeah. So they are in different conferences, but they will be playoff opponents, essentially, is how they will be looking. Like, both of them will be looking at each other as you are my road to the Prem.
Yeah.
Because neither one of them wants to go. Neither one of them wants to have to travel to Inverness.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so moving on.
NFC 1 South.
Sheffield Giants 31, Sandwell Steelers 16. I didn't think Sandwell would score that many points.
Yeah, what is happening with Sandwell? Like,
it's happened to them.
Yeah, happened. Sorry, it's just
it's kind of sad. They're in an area that's very concentrated. That Midlands area. There's lots of teams, and and you've got a lot of mercenary type players, and you upset a few of them, and they go and they bring their mates with them, and it all starts tumbling down, and that's sort of what's happening.
Yeah, it's painful. It's absolutely painful. So we've been told there was a mass exodus after the 2019 final loss.
Well, that's what.
That's what you assume.
You would assume because that was the last time they were any good. It is.
It's true.
And they were awesome that year. They were undefeated up until that final against Solent.
Yeah, and then so there we go. Davey's telling us, are you part of the exodus then? Because Davey's gone to Scunthorpe. That's the other side of the country. Sandwell's like here, Scunthorpe's over here. That is
maybe he lived in the middle.
I was going to say maybe he lives in Doncaster and refuses to play for them. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Listen, the other team in that division, Nottingham, 47, Northants 24.
Northants obviously give them a good crack, but Nottingham, I think Nottingham are a class above and sort of they're likely to be Prem bound, aren't they?
Mate, that's the thing is though. Like last time these two teams played, Nottingham won 32-9, so it was a sort of a solid margin of victory then as well. So this is 23 points each time they played. But the big thing in this is apparently points conceded plays into your playoff seeding. Giving up 24 when the last time you played them you only gave up 9 is massive.
Yeah, well, I think this is an interesting one because it's like I think the way that teams try to do it is like get their rookies in, get people reps at different positions or their standard positions. If they're second, third in the depth chart, and so it makes sense that whatever the points difference was at that time remains the same because you get a score from one team, a score from the other at that point, right? And you're sort of a rock and a hard place because there are teams that just keep their starters out and just keep the best.
That was going to be my question. What do you do? Do you blood your rookies?
Or do you take a risk of not actually making it into the playoffs? So it's interesting.
I don't think Nottingham needs to worry about that.
I think that rule drives quite ruthless mentality for some coaches, and it should. It should.
Yeah, but because ultimately your goal all the time is you want to make playoffs.
Yeah,
and
then you end up in the playoffs. And you might if you pick up a couple of injuries, you guys are fucked because you've got your donuts throughout the season and it's all good and got you there. but you haven't got any depth.
Yeah, so, but there's a possibility that if you'd blooded your rookies throughout the season, you might not have got This is more a question for fringe playoff team. This is not a question for Nottingham. Like the only thing that Nottingham needs to worry about is, are they coming in 1, 2, or 3? Essentially, are they coming in above
C1, C2, C3?
Because it's them, Highland, and Northumberland. They are the 3 top seeds from those 3 NFC 1 divisions.
Yeah,
they need to worry about the seeding between those 3 divisions. Are they coming in above Northumberland, below Northumberland, above Highland, below Highland? That's the only thing that they really need to worry about. Because I think all 3 of those teams will probably go undefeated in their respective divisions. They will all come in with 10-0 records. Meaning that the points conceded is huge.
Yeah, exactly. You make a really good point.
Especially with what I thought Northumberland had a tougher division with Yorkshire and up-and-coming Scunthorpe. But if Yorkshire's in free fall, then Northumberland's...
I think it's a bit early to call them in free fall. I think they're having a little bit of a blip.
Stags can't go 10-0? Is there not? Oh, Highland have a draw. Right, so it's Northumberland and Nottingham. Right, okay, so it's just Northumberland and Nottingham. Who did Highland draw against? Glasgow, I'm assuming.
I don't remember them drawing.
It must have been Glasgow. There's nobody else in that division that's worth a damn.
Let's have a little look.
In comparison to Highland, anyway. It would have had to have been Glasgow. Tony will tell me. There we go. Tony's told me it's the Tigers.
It is the Tigers. Oh yeah, 20 all. 20 all. Yeah, look, I got that before you, Cameron, but thank you.
Yeah, it had to be. Moving. So yeah, Nottingham staring at playoffs now. Like this is their division is a foregone conclusion for them. So now it's well and truly what happens in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get to the fun divisions. The SFC 1 Central. And I fucking told you this would happen. That the Olympians would come back and that they'd beat Wembley. And I still picked Wembley to win. But I knew that the way of Britball, and I said this on stream last week, the way of Britball is the Olympians will win this.
I was so pleased when I realised what had happened. I didn't clock it until the end of the day, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the game that the reverse fixture of last week, and
I knew.
So I got another point on you there.
Yeah, Britball.
At this point, is it worth us tallying up these points? Because I must be absolutely steamrolling you.
Well, no, because at the moment we're tied for this week. You got the
fuck off! But come on, weeks 1 to 4, I decimated you.
I'll have to go back and watch those streams because I don't think you did.
Okay.
But it's this. I don't know what the fuck to do with this division. It's incredible.
You don't have to do anything. Just sit back and watch.
Yeah, you just sit back. It is. It's literally a sit back and enjoy because it's such a hot mess. It's incredible. Any team can beat anybody else in this division on any given Sunday. It is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine how good it would be if the Prem was that competitive.
Well, it could be, kind of, maybe.
It could be.
It will
never be.
No, it won't. SFC 1 West, Hertfordshire Cheetahs 23, Bournemouth Boncats 0 points. 0 points.
Yeah, so that was the game we live streamed, and I still can't believe the Bobcats didn't score. They were close a couple of times, but couldn't punch it in. And I think, like I said it to Russ, I think after the game, I said I think the Bobcats were sort of good for a couple of points in this game. Maybe under 10, but like, the final score doesn't really reflect how competitive the game was. But taking nothing away from the Cheetahs defense, they were picking the ball off in the end zone, and
that was what I was going to say.
It was awesome.
We have seen the entire season long that the Cheetahs defense has been don't break.
Yeah,
like their offense has struggled in games, and it's been their defense that has pulled them through.
Have we seen that?
Yes, for sure.
When?
Because in one of their games, they literally had 2 pick sixes, and they only scored like 20 points.
Right.
I can't remember which game it was. It might have been the other time they played Bournemouth, to be honest with you. But they had 2 pick sixes and only scored like 20 points.
Bobcats' previous 2 games has resulted in 0. Oh shit! They're on a bit of a fucking scoring slump, but they had
Bobcats haven't scored. So that's the thing. Cheetahs have only conceded 19 points in 6 games. They're averaging 3 points a game.
Wow.
Literally think that one of the Hearts linebackers has 4 or 5 pick sixes. This is what I'm saying, man. Like every week where someone comes on stream and tells us about another pick 6 for Hertfordshire.
Yeah. Yeah, they were impressive.
Bobcats game 1, Hearts got 2 pick sixes in the first 3 plays.
Oh, that was that Jordan.
And they scored 19. They scored 19 points.
The dude they're talking about there.
Yeah,
they were telling me about it on live stream yesterday. I didn't realize it was this season.
Yeah, and that was the thing. They scored 19 points that game, and they had 2 pick sixes.
Christ.
So there have been games where Hertfordshire's offense has struggled mightily, and their defense have bailed them the fuck out.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they scored 9 points against Bristol. So, and they've got Bristol next week. So their defense is elite. Absolutely elite. And I don't think there's anybody in the division that's going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Rushmore is going to beat them when they play them again. I don't think Bristol beats them next week.
We'll see. We'll see. But
are you going to pick Rushmore against them in the reverse fixture?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Are you going to pick Bristol? We've got some picks coming up. Are you going to pick Bristol?
What? Bristol Aztecs?
Apache versus Hertfordshire.
No, I'd pick the Cheetahs in that game.
So much for loving Bristol.
I do like Bristol, but I played for the Aztecs, not the Apache.
I do like Bristol, just the good ones. I don't like the guys in the B team. They can do one.
Yeah, they work. They're nice people.
Well, then back them.
I don't.
NFC 2 West. NFC 2 West. Lincolnshire Bombers versus the Krill Railroaders.
I picked the Bombers, didn't I?
You did pick the Bombers.
Fuck you.
And the Bombers beat them. The Bombers beat them 26 points to 19.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know how to analyze that. Other than I was right, you was wrong.
I'm disappointed in Crew. Is how I analyze that.
Just I find it. I think that was a really. It showed to be a tight game, 1 score.
Mate, that's yeah. That's.
I don't know enough about either team to really know much about it. But I did want to back the Bombers, and they won. That's all.
There we go. Crew led 13-6 halftime. Bombers turned it around. That's the thing. The Bombers got the sweep as well.
Hey,
the Bombers got the sweep. They beat them. They beat them in the first fixture as well, 34-26.
See.
So clean sweep there for the Bombers. They finished with 60 points to 45 in the season series.
Did I get you here as well with SFC 2 Central, or did you get me? Swindon Storm 29, Ouse Valley Eagles 0. Did we both go for the Eagles? Like what?
I went for the Storm.
What did I go for? Did I go for the Eagles?
I've got you down going for the Storm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you went for the Eagles. I think you went for the Eagles the week before.
Right.
Or the game.
I'm surprised by the scoreline, but again, it speaks to the Eagles and their sort of fluctuations that they have.
I'm not. I think that when these guys are like Swindon to me, because they played them before, they beat them 26-7 when they played about 3 weeks ago. And Swindon to me massively underperformed against Berkshire, but should be the second best team in this division.
Yeah.
Now they've got Hereford next week, and that will be an interesting game because I don't know what to make of Hereford.
Yes, yeah, Hereford. They lost the game, didn't they?
Yeah, Hereford. That's the thing. Hereford
lost a couple.
Have slipped.
Lost a couple of games.
So, 29-0 to the Storm over the Eagles, and then in the SFC 2 West. So there we go. Paul said that the Eagles don't travel well.
Yeah, Glenn said, was their QB playing though?
No.
It makes that much of a difference?
Obviously. Well, they played at home. They played at home, and they lost comfortably at home. So does it matter? Swindon and Brick Bulls, Andy Dalton. Berkshire Renegades versus Ooze Valley Eagles this week on Sportank.
Yeah, man.
Is that our stream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why are you screwing your face up, you prick?
Who else is playing this week?
I don't know. People who refuse live streams, probably.
Oh.
You're also forgetting that I live 15, 20 minutes away from Berkshire's home ground. That's always favourable to me.
Yorkshire's playing Scunthorpe this week. Stallions are playing the Hornets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go all the way up there. Yeah.
Blitz B versus Norwich. Cheetahs Apache.
All right. Well, we've learned from this because we're... I'm not changing the fucking live stream, by the way, so stop trying to...
No, I know.
But what we're doing next year is actually... and even with Uniball, we're only going to block out like 6 weeks in advance at a time and then see how the games go and then book out the next batch. Because we booked these out at the beginning of the season, right? So...
What are the EFL rumours floating around the middle of this week?
Flynn, they're probably the same rumours that keep floating around, are they? That there's going to be a London team or a UK team. I've had them for a couple of years now.
Well, haven't they been floating around ever since the London Jaguars were created by that dude back in like 2016?
No, the EFL is only in its third year. That paper goes back about 10, 15 years. That's fucking awful.
God.
That goes back a while.
That London Jaguars Facebook page.
Yeah. I think people eased off from... what was the dude's name? Cyrus or something. And people eased off from him because it was like apparent that he just wasn't all there, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and there was talk that he was unhappy with his current status in living.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means that there was talk that there was like the blowback that he got had created issues in his mental health, essentially, is what I heard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just you got to sort of step back and respect that, and that's why I don't ever sort of mention it anymore. I was lapping it up when it was happening. I was like, this guy, it was just popcorn for me. I was just sitting back watching it, you know. But yeah, he took some stick as well. But it was the thing is, it was fairly obvious there wasn't something quite right with him with the stuff he was saying. But current status in living, flexible schedule for Sportank like the NFL, so we don't get shit Thursday night football.
Did you watch the NFL last night? We got some fucking shithouse Thursday night football games last year. We got some.
I don't watch it.
No, I was talking to Aaron. We got some atrocious Thursday night football games last year. The NFL,
the Warriors, the ELF is the common. Yeah, and I know that Bristol, a conglomerate, and Bristol put in a bid, but the guy that runs the NFL, the ELF, ELF, he wants a London team. He's got it in his head that it has to be London and Bristol's nothing, and that's why. So
he's been watching the Prem.
Hey?
So he's been watching the Prem.
Been watching the what?
He's been watching the Prem. It's all about London and Bristol's nothing.
Well, this was before. This was even last year. He was saying it. So,
well, definitely was back then. Even this year, though, as well.
The Aztecs got to the playoffs last year,
and did
the Warriors? Yeah, but I think them. Yeah, they want. Yeah, that's right. They want the London Monarchs back. So, but I think people are going to be because they're trying to like reinvigorate the old NFL Europe team.
It's all about the Wembley Stallions.
And then that also paves the way for the Scottish Claymores as well. So, and by the end of it, they were called the England Monarchs, weren't they? But I imagine
can we get the London Hornets in the ELF?
Yeah, that's what they need. But yeah, the problem is, you guys know, right? Anything in Britball, anything in the UK with American football just takes ages and everyone wants to get their fucking fingers in the pie. No one wants to drive the game forward. Everyone wants to get paid on their own, on the side, in some way. And that's what ultimately breaks negotiations down with absolutely any development. And you can imagine that that's exactly what's happening here. I don't know any inside information. I just know that there's a lot of fucking clowns involved in this circus. And And every single year that goes by, the bar gets raised because they'll say, "Oh, now it's I don't know $500,000 to get involved in the league. Oh, now it's 650,000, and it just gets harder and harder, and we just get left behind. And it's a fucking joke, but that's how it works. So you can say all you want. I like in terms of like, yeah, it's a good idea, and this team and that team or whatever. I'll believe it when I see it, just like I believe it when I see this UKFL league coming up. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, great. It would be cool to have that stuff. We don't have the right people that want to drive the sport forward. We've got people who want to line their own pockets in this game. The end. Same for fucking years and years. So it's the reason why, despite having the game in the country for 40 years, we are behind countries like
Italy.
Poland. Well, I was thinking even less, like even short amount of time. Poland,
Sweden,
who have had the sport maybe about 10, 15 years now and have teams playing in dedicated stadiums. It's a fucking joke. I don't even think it's worth talking about. It's just worth admiring the ELF for what it is and just knowing that we're not going to get in there.
Every time you say the word ELF, I just keep thinking EDL.
Alf.
No, it's just every time you like just admire the ELF for what it is, and I just think of a whole bunch of like white racists going ELF.
Yeah, EDL, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I sound pessimistic, but I've been around the game a while now, and it's just full of fucking idiots that just look after their own interests rather than the sports, and that's why everyone else in Europe overtakes us. The fucking league in Germany, Austria, Italy, France.
So this is interesting. Just the second half of it. The second half is the part.
How do you think that would affect Britball, the ELF? I'd like to think that the BAFA would start to get a serious semi-pro tier to help feed that ELF team, and so instead of sending everyone over to Europe, we keep our talent. And that's on and off the field, coaches, sideline staff, as well as players. It would be great. It would be a fantastic positive thing if we had it. I just don't think.
Ain't nobody run the chains like English people. We would have the best sideline staff.
Don't they get refs to run the chains now? Like.
Yeah, but it's Britball. So whenever ELF teams would come and play for us, we'd definitely be running the chains.
Yeah.
Last game of the week. We're nearly there. Somerset 22, Cornwall 0. So Davey reckons that London Monarchs would turn into a masked GB Lions outfit. Probably.
Oh no, I don't agree with that.
There'd be a few Scottish players.
Well, if you look at the ELF teams at the moment, there's a lot of Americans coming over for every single team. So why wouldn't that happen? Like, surely that would be the same.
Yeah, and different Europeans and stuff as well.
And if you played in the ELF team, would you want to go and play for GB? GB's a bit of a farce, right? Like it's constantly spoken about. Even the players and then the number of GB players that I know always say how shit it is because of no money. Yeah, and that's another bone of contention with me. The fucking little money that they do put into it comes straight out of the pockets of people playing in a league. Like, what the fuck? And where the fuck does that come from? And in 4 years of being in charge, this new board and lump Cricket Pete into that as well, have produced fuck all in terms of finding new sponsors and new revenue streams. All they've done is sweat the revenue streams that they've got. So each year we get more and more fucking money taken out of our pockets to be able to play. It's a load of shit.
Subs are expensive.
And then, fine, they're expensive, but they're not spent on you. They're not spent on relieving the travel costs for some of these clubs that have got to pay, best part of $1,000 to go and travel. Like it's all for, not all for, but a huge portion of it goes to this GB thing. And you've still got people that play for GB and coach GB that are having to pay themselves. It doesn't even wash its own face. But they don't get rid of it because, I think they don't get rid of it because one, they obviously want a national team, but I think it's a huge leverage winner for BAFA because once people get involved in the GB structure, they're silenced. Like they don't badmouth GB, they don't badmouth Baffa, and so it shuts a lot of people up. And I know that's a controversial thing. That wasn't one on my list, but it does shut a lot of people up. A lot of people I know have been very vocal, or they're vocal, offline and face to face with you, but wouldn't dare say anything about Baffa publicly.
Well, no, because they like their position in the team.
Exactly, because they want to go to the gym and wear the fucking. I'm a Great Britain person. It's just it's like that's why Baffa won't want to get rid of it, because it actually silences a huge number of very influential people.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to sweep things under the rug if you've got some of the best players in the country and best known people across the sport chirping that things aren't right.
Yeah.
But if you can
shuts
silence
everyone up.
Yeah.
It shuts everyone up. It's bollocks.
Like I said, Somerset 22, Cornwall 0.
Yes.
I am a little bit surprised that Somerset only scored 22 points. Is this the Portsmouth hangover?
It could be.
We saw it last week in the chat. There was a lot of Somerset players feeling hard done by from the refs in that Portsmouth game. You were there. You commented on how poor the reffing was and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility that there were some guys that may have taken a week off, knowing it's only Cornwall?
I don't know. Well, you've talked. Aaron is staying spot on. I don't know. It'll be interesting if we said lots of. So Rachel's popped up and said there was lots of rotation.
Yeah, it's just. I can't help but wonder that, like, looking at that, they should have put 40 on them, and I can't help but think that is there a reverse fixture between these two? There isn't, is it? Because they're interdivision. Portsmouth and Somerset.
Yeah.
There's no reverse fixture.
Oh no, they're in SFT. Yeah, they're going to play each other in Taunton soon.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, there's no more cross divisional games. They're all finished.
Okay, right. Okay, so I can't help but think that Somerset is staring down the reverse fixture. Yeah, 23rd of July is the reverse fixture.
I'm just looking at. I was monologuing. I wasn't looking at the comments, but I did see one I wanted to respond to. Nathan saying, "Did GB players have to sign something to say they stay quiet?" No, not at all. But everyone, it's a fucking well-known thing that they get blacklisted.
It's the biggest well-known secret that if you talk shit about GB, you will not be included in the program.
You're gone. Fucking stupid, but yeah. Oh yeah.
Not even talk shit about GB. Sorry. If you talk shit about what the fuck is that?
Royal Navy American football mug.
Oh, you are a mug. If you talk shit about Baffa, you will not be included in GB. Cornwall never beat Somerset. No, I know they wouldn't have. They're not good enough to beat Somerset.
Oh, Andy said they're still around across divisions at the end of July. I thought they were all done. Cheers, Andy. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, should we? How much time we got?
The predictions usually take about 10 minutes. So we've got about 15 minutes if you want to talk about something.
Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to talk about, which we already sort of mentioned, was having a national prem. And I've got my own. I think you even might know my own my theory my thoughts on it. And I've shared this before with quite a large group of people on a Facebook group, American football one, and people fucking hated it. But they also, at the same time, I also mentioned that it should be an 8 or 9-a-side Div 2, and everyone ripped that apart. But in recent weeks, people have sort of said that sort of makes sense. Sounds like a dictatorship. Bloody commies coming here taking our football. Yeah, it's a joke, man. And like what they've done with the rules for this, in terms of like, it's harder now, more now than ever, to vote people out. There are less voted positions than there were before. It's just a fucking joke. It jobs for the boys. It's just to have it on your CV. It's
jobs for the boys.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You like no one. You never hear anything from anyone. There's no communication. It's just shit. They put a 10-year plan in about 3 years ago. Probably would be the same 10-year plan if you asked about it now, because there'd be no progress. I've been disenfranchised with these guys for a long time, and I gave them a good crack at a whip, but they fucked me over as well with Sport Tank. But they're just shit. And I will last longer in the sport than they will, and I look forward to them not being around it anymore. That's the best way I can. I've stopped myself getting frustrated about their shit and just wait for the next, because it's nothing like. And when they do something good, I'm like, cool, like that's positive, that's good. You know, I am optimistic about it. I've got a positive outlook. I want it to be good. I want to grow the sport. But fuck me.
I want some pizza parties. Give me some pizza parties.
It's just a joke, man. Just a joke. Anyway, yeah. I could go on.
National Prem.
National Prem. Give me your thoughts and any thoughts in the comments as well. What do
How
you
many
guys
teams?
think if they put a National Prem, and that this is obviously Contact Senior.
How many teams?
Well, there you go. That's the first point. How many teams?
6.
Okay. It's just not cricket. That's exactly right, and that's the problem. If it was cricket, we'd be fine.
Based on performance this year, you could argue you would comfortably say 6. You could argue 7.
Glenn, I don't know what you mean by depends on what the goal
if
is.
You're trying to
Prem?
Yeah, National Prem. Because the thing is, the issue is, like, in my eyes, you would still have a tier. Here we go. Oz's tiers. National Prem would be tiered out. You would still have a tier of 2 at the top. London, Manchester would be clear above everybody else.
Ryan said he thinks at least 10. So which 10 would that be? Because that would be interesting. Tony's gone 8.
You're shoving some shit in the bottom now.
Are you?
Making it 10? Yeah, 100%. National Prem. Let's lock it out. Lock it out. Guaranteed locks for National Prem. Manchester, London.
It's the top 3 of both.
Bristol,
Prem,
Edinburgh,
right?
Yeah. Bristol, Edinburgh, Solent. So that's 6, right? Who are we shoving in as the next 4?
You'd say Thrashers, Nottingham, Northumberland.
But the thing is, I don't think they are the quality.
I didn't say they were. I'm just saying they're the best of the rest.
No, but that's why I don't think. If you're building National Prem,
Corn Bay,
mate, the miners are getting a shout too.
Corn Bay, the miners, the miners. No,
EKP and Solent.
I do love them. Where does the money come from? Even if semi-pro guys would still be working outside of football to work, you were looking at traveling the day before. Yeah, well, I played in a National Prem in this country, and it worked. But yeah, it's a high level of commitment.
Neutral ground. Every game played at
sponsors or players, but it doesn't come from the national governing body. That's for fucking sure.
Neutral ground. Every game's played in Nottingham. Neutral ground. Every game is played at Nottingham or Loughborough.
Or that area of the country, so everyone travels into that area. Yeah. I quite like the idea. That's not. I'm not against that, Oz.
But the thing is, like, after those 6, what are you doing? It's just filler.
So, this is the problem that people have at the moment, and that's why they're talking about a National Prem. It was someone brought it up on our score post this week on multiple scores, all the Prem scores, I think, which were sort of very one-sided.
One-sided, yeah.
Hashtag, I don't know, let there be a National Prem, and there was a couple of comments going on it. But, and this is my problem with it, right? This is my fucking problem with it, is that all you do is drop off, because it was about 10 years ago that they changed it from a National Prem to a split. All you do is go back to that problem. And what that does is, exactly as you've said there, you're still going to get whippings no matter how big the Prem is, or it'll be competitive maybe for one season, maybe for 2 seasons, if it was just those 6 teams. But what you're forgetting is that a losing record in any team at any level in the UK is a recipe for disaster, and that's where teams get undone. So my I don't know, radical solution to it is that we should have more Premier Leagues. So you get for me, and again, I stand to be argued with here, but I don't believe you would have the strong North teams that you've got now, Manchester Titans, the Phoenix, Edinburgh. I don't think they would be as strong as they are now had you stuck with a national prem. It's the separation that's allowed them to have winning season over winning season over winning season and build out these programs that they've got. So if you split it out again and you create maybe a London Prem and then a South and a North, so you've got 3, or you do 4, or whatever, you've got 3 teams. If you've got 6 in each of those Prems, you've got 3 teams each year that are getting, you could say maybe, let's just say on averages, 3 teams that are getting in winning seasons. So they're keeping hold of their players, they're growing, they're doing better. And then it becomes it's going to be interesting when it goes to playoffs, because now the playoffs aren't just a semi-final or a final. The playoffs mean a fucking lot now, because this is when these top teams get to actually prove themselves. So my and again, I know probably I haven't read the comments, but I'm sure people are fucking bullshitting what I'm saying here. But I think
no one's taking it in yet.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this actually, but my role is I work as a director of growth excellence, and my specialty is growth in companies, right? And so I analyze this sort of stuff all the time. Like, what is the incentive to grow? What is what is disenfranchising people? And for me, it's all about the record and how, are you winning more games than you're losing, or are you losing more games than you're winning? And so if we go to a national prem, we then go backwards. After a couple of, yes, we will have competitive games for a year, awesome, or 2, awesome. But people will get fed up of losing games, and it will all change again. And you'll go back to having fewer top level teams, where I think if you split out into more, you'll end up with more top level teams, and it'll be really good for the sport.
But the thing is, I don't know if we will ever get to a point where we have more than, say, 4 top level teams. And I always see 2 of them coming from London. Like, when I say top level, I don't mean like Prem level. I mean top, like the best teams in the country. I think London will, like the Blitz and the Warriors, will always be in the conversation for top 4 in the country.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah,
it's all it is what happens in the North.
No, it's not. Because you've got, I think you've got the Midlands, you've got the North, which by itself, I think you could have a North. I'm not trying to solve the fucking structure, right? Like, but I'm trying to make the suggestion that that you can split it out. But I think you could easily have a Midlands, you could easily have a North, and then a South, and then a London. That would make sense to me. It is population and catchment, and that's how you would need to just look at the big populous areas on the country, segregate them off, and that's where you have your.
Yeah, but then it's also a fucking talent perspective as well. Like, if you're having, because I'm trying to understand what happens with Div 1 and Div 2 in this envisioning scenario that you've got going on here. Is it that just the country becomes catchment areas and that's it?
Well, you might end up in the structure like when I played rugby, where you essentially are feeding into like a county or a wider group, and then when you play for that level, you then play against bigger groups until you get to like the national. But you're still your team. You just go up in, as you grow, you go up. And you start having bigger catchments, much like it is now. I don't see how that changes much, really.
Because if your areas, let's say if you do Scotland is one, the North,
Scotland and the borders. I think borders and Scotland would be one.
Where are you cutting the borders? Are you saying Northumberland, Cumbria?
So you've got Northumberland,
Cumbria
that would go up into that area. I think.
Okay. Because that was going to be my next question. Is would you do
Lancashire as well? I think that's what, because then the Midlands is rich with teams.
Yeah, they are. So I was wondering, are you sending the Lancastrians to Scotland essentially, or to
potentially? Like I said, I don't really care about debating those things, and I think there should be a logical way around it.
Because you could go Scotland for one, and they'd be centered in Edinburgh, right? Like,
well, the whole point, you were talking about centralisation, aren't we? So
hubs, yeah. So London centered in Edinburgh or Glasgow. Like, you can take your fucking pick. They're both decent enough size.
Yeah.
Then so you do another one for Glasgow. Another one for the north, and probably the best thing would be put it in Leeds, because it's 2 hours down from Newcastle. It's 2 hours across from Manchester.
Yeah.
And then you include Newcastle, Manchester, Leeds.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Midlands, which you would put.
See, that then gives us 5.
Yeah. And
I don't. Well, I don't. Like I said, I don't care if it's 3, 4, 5. I think. Yeah, I think it sort of makes sense, right?
Then you go Midlands.
Yeah,
and that's probably based in either Birmingham or Nottingham, either or.
Yeah.
Then you go to London.
Yeah, London's London.
London's London, and then the South.
Yeah, well, and, it's interesting what the comment there. And is it Dave? Is that what I say his name?
I'm calling him Davey. I don't actually know the.
Sorry for butchering your name, mate, but I appreciate the comments you're putting up. So you mean the 2021 season? No, I don't mean the 2021 season. Not. I just mean because you don't ever want the bad against the good. But what I do think we should be doing is introducing this playoff game to get someone up to the Prem. Like the worst team that would be relegated has to play the best team that's qualified to get promoted, and winner stays on sort of thing. Winner stays in the Prem or gets to play in the Prem. So a little bit more structure to it, but it does make sense to have regionalized structures because, like I said, we can then centralize and neutralize where people play. And it's just easier. It's not as a commitment. If you create a national Prem and you've got Warriors traveling up to Highland, people are going to be like, "Fuck this!" Like it's not. The level of commitment is so much higher.
The issue that I have with it though is like once we've created these 5 sort of sections, right? Are these just Prem sections, or what the fuck happens to Div 1 and Div 2?
I think they're Prem, and one thing that I think would be worth looking at would be now we're looking at wider leagues, but there was a structure that existed before where the Prem was smaller, Div 1 was smaller, but they did play interdivisional games. So you played everyone in the Prem if you were a Prem team twice. You played everyone in Div 1 twice if you were a Div 1 team, and then you played cross-divisionally 1 game or 2 games. Either against every opponent once or 2 opponents once. I can't remember what it was, but that was really good because it was like it worked really well because you still had the really competitive games for those top teams. You still had competitive games at the Div 1 level, and then it was really only the Prem the cross divisionals that could potentially be blowouts, but sometimes they were a lot closer than.
Well, it's just I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, if we're doing these 4, 5 hubs or whatever for Prem, how many teams are in the Prem for each of these hubs?
I think like 4 or 5, maximum 6.
There's not enough talent for that though.
I think there is.
No, we are struggling now with.
But see, what you just said there was exactly what people said when they split the North and South. When they split it to North and South, it isn't going to work. And what ended up happening was you end up building these very, very strong teams and big programs.
Yeah, but it's if you're trying to do 5 divisions with 5 teams, there is not enough talent for 25 Prem teams. But there's not enough Prem quality talent for 25 Prem level.
But no, there isn't. But there's not. I'd argue that the whole argument that you had was there's not enough for more than 6 in a national league, and then you've got suggestions of 8, 10, and now 12 for that. Now, my argument is to get to that Nirvana state of maybe 12 teams, you'd have to go. For it to work, it would have to be semi-pro. So it have to be people being paid, so you don't have everyone dropping out and all that sort of stuff.
See, I was thinking
you would grow that by having smaller teams, getting winning seasons back to back, and building out, and then you would combine them.
I was thinking more along the lines of for the Prem is your county level, right? So you have 5 Prem.
You don't have enough teams for that.
You have 5 Prem teams. 5. That's it. You have 1 in London, 1 in the South, 1 in the Midlands, 1 in the North, 1 in Scotland, right? The best players, they qualify to play into that Prem team, and they, as semi-pro, so they get paid for their travel, they will play.
You're completely changing everything there. That's
yeah. So exactly, Aaron's mentioned Super Rugby.
Great idea. No way of happening.
And then the smaller teams like Div 1 and Div 2 are essentially, if you're talented enough, you will then get picked to play rep.
I love that idea.
And then it would be the 5 teams, they play each other up and down the country, and it's semi-pro, so it's paid travel, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. It depends, as we know, it depends on having that money available and being able to do that. Maybe that, it would be. I would love to see that UKFL effort actually create that. That would be fucking awesome. But
it would be, you would have regional fucking like area teams that are. So it would be.
We've solved football.
Yeah. So you'd have the Midlands representative team.
Yeah.
That gets fed into from the Birmingham Bulls, from the fucking Sandwell Steelers.
You'd ideally want 6, I think, because then you'd have a 10 game Super Prem or whatever you.
Well, then you can go the Southwest and the Southeast essentially. So you've got that way. You've got Cornwall, Torbay, fucking Bristol, Somerset, all of that sort of region.
Yeah. So,
all the way up.
So you can't get relegated. You've got to county level or whatever.
Exactly. You don't get relegated down. It's just if your team is shit, you hope that you've got players coming through the fucking youth ranks in the smaller feeder teams. So it's like the Welsh play in the Southwest League as well.
Someone talk about youth and the focus should be. This is it here. It was Rich. He said the focus should be on youth, under 19s, uni, Div 2, Div 1. Grow that, which creates larger participation and awareness of the sport. Well, and we're seeing shrinkage in that at the moment because of the standards they're bringing in. I like the standards. I like the fact that we're getting rid of fucking forfeits and shithousery and stuff. But they got to be careful that they don't just take the bottom out of this whole fucking sport.
I'll be honest. I'm not really sure if the focusing on Div 2 is the thing, because most of the guys that play, most of the time with Div 2, it's grown adults.
Div 2 a participation level. 8 aside, 9 aside, then that should grow. That would be ideal if you had that structure.
The way that I look at Div 2, unless you are a brand new team that's coming through the associate phase, coming through into essentially you're trying to make a push, like what Scunthorpe's done recently, like what Highland did in the last few years and stuff. Like a lot of Div 2 players are like grown ass men that just aren't good enough to play Div 1.
Yeah.
It's like 60% of Div 2 is just grown men that aren't good enough to play Div 1.
Yeah.
So for sure, youth is what should be focused on for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. But within that structure, there's a comment here from Aaron saying Div 1 and Div 2 clubs should become members of a super club. You can only play for the super club based on your Div 1, Div 2 team. I think that's gonna be very, very hard to fucking to manage because. Let's say you live in the south now, and your catchment is the London Warriors, just for argument's sake. And then you move up to Scotland, and your catchment's now the Edinburgh Wolves. But because you played for 2 years at Div 1 level for the Berkshire Renegades, you can now no longer, if you get good enough, go up to the Wolves. Like that, I don't think that will work.
But you can still transfer. You'd still be able to do transfers because in anything that there's franchising or anything like that, you can still transfer.
So what's the benefit of having the teams aligned?
So they would be feeder clubs that you can like.
But then shouldn't everyone? Doesn't that mean everyone's a feeder club? Like, I don't see the difference.
I would say looking at this is a selection based process. So it's like if you're good at, so you've got your super club which plays Prem, you've got your Div 1 team that plays Div 1, you've got your Div 2 team that plays Div 2. The best players in your super club are playing Prem. The second best players are playing Div 1, and your
but that doesn't make sense because if we're talking about distribution across a county, we're talking about multiple clubs and teams feeding up into this thing. It's not one location that you would sort of find your way going through, right?
Oh, I'm not saying I agree with Aaron. I was just trying to explain what he might be saying, but I could be completely off base.
Okay. Cool.
I think that you should have you would have a representative team for the Midlands, and you would have multiple feeder clubs into that. Like it's based on what my
based on the anyone in the catchment area, they should be pushing team. But I don't think there should be anything stopping the London Warriors liking a player from the Midlands and convincing them to come down and because they'll be able to offer digs and
for sure
pro type stuff.
The thing is, if you reach that Prem level, you can sign with whoever the fuck you want. If you're selected, like let's say you're playing in the Midlands or something like that, right? In a Div 1 team in the Midlands. The Warriors can send scouts to Div 1 fucking Midlands games and go, "Oi, look, we'd like you to come play for London."
Yeah.
Come play for London. And then he's like, "Yeah, cool, fucking pen to paper." And he goes and plays for London.
But what? So what's the benefit of being connected to a super club or whatever a super club?
Oh, I don't know what Aaron's on about.
Oh, okay.
I'm going back to my idea.
So let's just have a look at some of these comments. Know that. Oh, sorry, mate. King's Youth have now access to schools, so we can showcase American football at youth level. I did 2 seasons with around 70. 2 sessions, sorry, with around 2 seasons with about 70 kids. So, yeah, absolutely, Tony. We have to grow the sport at that level. I'm completely in agreement there. You then get them recruiting Americans. That's the other thing. That I think we do need to bring Americans in, and not just to play, but also to coach and backroom staff and all that sort of stuff. But we should put a limit on it because obviously you don't want them overloading. But that's all that's all easy to sort out, I think.
The only reason, just going on Davies, on Davies' comment, the reason that people want to play in the ELF and GFL and things like that is because they're much better fucking run, which is exactly what he's talking about. Like this fuck all organisation league-wise, they don't want to play at home. They'd rather go to ELF. It's because it's not just because of the organisational part of it. It's like it's the perks that you get for playing ELF or GFL. Like you get everything taken care of when you're over there.
Yeah, you live as an athlete, don't you? And
it's if I could get everything taken care of and still live at home, I would much rather live in my house with my partner and my cat and have my rent taken care of, have my fucking
that's it. Like
rather than be stuck in a house with like 6 other fucking dudes in the middle of a town in Germany.
Exactly. But like there's obviously appeal to that, and that's why the younger guys go and do it. But I not that I started this conversation liking the idea of what a national prem, but I feel like if it was made semi-pro and there was proper money put into it, then I could see that structure working.
My version of national pro works. Tom, the main reason that we've talked about this is because the entire stream has come to the conclusion that Highland is just too fucking far away.
Yeah, so everyone's collectively agreed to just ignore Highland now, Tom. So
it's the main reason is we are trying to start a league without having to include the Highlands.
Yeah,
because the travel is just cunty.
You've created a team, a very good team, and a good structure in an obnoxious part of the country. That's the problem.
We think that you guys have to go play against Orkney for your away games.
Yeah. Orkney, Isle of Wight, Channel Islands. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah,
fuck
the Isles of Scilly,
and
the Isle of Skye. And the it's your away schedule is Orkney, Isle of Skye, Norway, Greenland,
Shetlands.
Yeah, and New Zealand.
That's another of our offshore. We've just aligned with Bafferden. Yeah.
All it is we've actually just peaked Baffer's away schedule for Highland next year. We've seen the 2024 Highland schedule, and we're talking about
and Tom, and we wish you all the best, mate. You guys are going to smash it against the Channel Islands.
You can homestay with my family when you get to. No, tell me, where is the best cheap hotel to stay in the Highlands? Because I've got to go to Inverness for work.
I think all of them. They're all. Whenever I've travelled up there, it's all pretty cheap. Falklands, Gibraltar. You can stay at the Taj Mahal because you've got to play. You've got to when he gets India back. Yeah, you've got a game. You've got a game. You've got a game against the Maratha Confederacy. The loser gives up control. There's a game in Hong Kong. You've just got to try claim all the colonies back. So Davey said, I was referring to the focus on youth, etc. It's all good developing all this talent, but they aren't going to stay and play. Then a lot of products leave the country. Yeah, I don't think we're talking about different things. What we are saying is we don't want those young.
It would be the Auckland Chieftains. Don't be racist.
Looking elsewhere and going, and leaving this Britball structure that sort of set them up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got people going off to kick Canadian football like like Emmanuel Falolo did, and this year, and you've got
that's the thing. Once you've raised that youth talent, there needs to be somewhere for them to go locally. Otherwise, they look for the next challenge. Because ideally, that's the thing. Like a lot of these kids that are probably in schools that are getting connected with American football, the New Delhi Belly. Comment of the year. Comment of the year.
Most valuable participant.
Yeah, a lot of the kids that are up and coming, they're the Madden generation. Like I was, it's fucking stretched. No one wants to travel to Corn Bay. Because I was part of the Madden generation. I got into football because I started playing Madden, right? But it's like as these kids get older and they actually.
Why are you calling it Madden? Do you know how old Madden? I played Madden in the 90s.
That's my point, though. But how many people do you know that got into football because of Madden?
Probably none.
Then you are not traveling in the right circles. Pretty much everybody I know got into football because of Madden. You know
what? I've never really spoken to many of my teammates. I just like to play the game.
Yeah, I hate my teammates. I hate the opposition.
Did you catch the draft? No, I didn't. You prick. Just fucking, getting a 3-point stance properly.
It's the NFL. Like it's the Madden influence. It's the American, and it's. I remember when I went out to Hawaii and speaking to like all my mates and everything from who I played with back home, they were like, "Oh, you're traveling to the University of Hawaii. Like this is amazing. Like, do you reckon you'll get like?" None of them had a clue. But they were like, "Do you reckon you'll get picked up by the uni team?" And I was like, "One, I'm 22, definitely not. I'm not walking onto a Pac-12 team because I'm not anywhere good enough, like anything like that." But we were going out there to train with them while they were in their the back end of their season. Work with them while they were preparing for. I think they had 3 games left in the year. They were ahead of losing. They went like 3-7 that year when we were out there, and we got to work through when they were having their trainings during the week. Watch how they trained, how their practices worked. Take away that because we had a tournament against all of the semi-pro teams. Because Hawaii's got they call it like the Volcano League or some shit like that. They've got a whole bunch of semi-pro teams out there, which are essentially where all the players from the University of Hawaii go.
That's insensitive.
Calling it the Volcano League.
Yeah.
Well, you should take it up with them.
Yeah. Well.
But that's where all the players got. Like when they leave the university and they're like, "Well, I still want to play football, but I'm not good enough to make the NFL."
Yeah.
But it's like people realize that the sort of the dream is to they want to make college. Like for these kids growing up, this is my point. They want to make. They're like, "Oh, I'd love to play college. I'd love to make the NFL." It's like, so if we're growing the youth and shit, and they start looking, what is my pathway to? It's a hot league. Fuck off, Aaron. What is my pathway?
He's just looking for the next punchline now.
It's the thing. He wants to be the next. He is terrified someone else is going to come in with something better than New Delhi Bellies.
Well, who's our normal?
It was him.
The guy that's been commenting the last couple of weeks. Was it Brady? What's his name?
Oh,
can't remember his name. He's been hilarious.
Ryan. His name was Ryan.
Was it?
Yeah. But they want to play college. But what's the pathway to college? And it's like, okay, I can't play college. Steve is just being a dick. It's not,
calm down.
But if they can't play college, it's like, okay, what's next for me? Right, GFL, EFL. Like, where can I get paid to play football? And it's just the UK. We have nothing to offer them, so we can develop all the talent we want, and off they go.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's the reason why the NFL came to us for the UK came to the UK to play games a couple of times a year, and that's evolved. The reason we got there first was because we got it first more than the other European countries, was because we had the common language. We spoke the same language. It's more favorable. And so culturally, we're closer to a lot of what goes on in America, and we would attract, I believe, a lot more talent and a lot more exposure.
We are also time zone differences as well. It's only It's a 6-hour difference East Coast to the UK.
Yeah, 5.
Depending on summertime versus, but. Nope. There's a week. There's one.
Difference. Oh, you're talking about 1 week. Wait, fuck you. Right. Anyway,
no, sorry. I was thinking 6-hour flight time. You're right. 5 hour EST to British is 5 hours.
This is another good point. So, Hussein, I don't know how to say his surname, but I know the name's Hussein. Is a good example. He's like a 6'4" British QB. Came through the ranks at Gateshead Youth, and he's mustard. and he's now going to play college in America. Great, like
which is
completely skipped.
The thing is, college in America is always going to be the ultimate goal for guys that are like 17, 18, 19. Doesn't matter what the UK does. Yeah. We are never going to be able to compete with college in America because college in America is your gateway to the NFL. Like, I don't give a fuck about the international pathway program, all that sort of bullshit. Like, that is a 1 in a million shot compared to if you can make it as like a star in a college team. That's your shot at the NFL. So we're never going to be able to compete with that. But it's like, what if you're not that good, but you can play college, but you know you're never getting drafted or anything like that? Yeah. What have they got to come back to post-college?
Yeah.
And we have nothing.
Yeah.
Right, we've got 3 minutes to do predictions.
Whatever. Who cares about them?
We got no prem. Have we got another GB week? Is there no prem this week?
Probably.
I'm not seeing any pre-games listed.
Either that or we haven't. It might be that we don't have it on the website. Let's have a look. Dob's updating the website on Thursday with all the fixtures that are missing.
I don't care. It's your website.
I'm just telling you. Is it blue versus white? Okay, yeah. So there's no prem.
Oh, right. There we go then.
That's another thing. That's just to spin money, innit? Fuck me. We've got 4 weeks. 4 weeks off. That's the Malik, you look like a Cats player from your.
He's a Cats player.
A very small image of you.
That's a Cats player. Yeah. It's the National Circle Jerk, blue versus white.
Circle Jerk. Right, let's get into it, Oz.
NFC 1 Scottish, Inverclyde Goliath versus Clyde Valley Blackhawks. I'm taking the Blackhawks again.
Me too.
No, you can't. You definitely can. But yeah, I still think Clyde Valley is the best of the rest at the moment in that division, and they will prove it again versus Inverclyde.
Yeah.
Next game,
Stags versus the Aberdeen Roughnecks.
Stags.
I go Stags, yeah, Stags.
I'm interested for their reverse fixture versus Glasgow. After my memory has been jogged that they tied 20 all, because that will be awesome. Winner wins division.
Yes. Winner, if there is a winner, division. What if they tie again, the pricks?
I think Highland have done better against the rest of the division than like in terms of points conceded and stuff. So would make Blackhawks 6-2 going into the final 2 games against Stags and Tigers. I don't think it matters. I will be ruthlessly blunt. I don't think that matters them being 6-2 because I don't think they're on the same level as the Tigers and the Stags. Prove me wrong. I know Steve hates it when I say this, but love to be proved wrong. Would love to see the Blackhawks. No, I wouldn't actually. I really don't want to see the Blackhawks come out and beat the Tigers and Stags because I don't think they're as good. I just don't. Tom says next week. Next week we've got Tigers versus Stags.
Oh
yeah. So that is a Sport Extreme, yeah?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna travel all the way up to fucking shithole north of the country to fucking I'll spend 3 days getting there.
Tell me you're a Tory from Berkshire without telling me you're a Tory from Berkshire. Oh, shithole rest of the country. Oh.
Hey, no, I don't like Berkshire. I like the South Coast. I like it.
Fuck off.
I like Portsmouth.
Portsmouth's a shithole.
And I don't think I could handle looking out to sea and it being a north-facing sea. Like I like to look out south and it's the sea, so it doesn't suit me.
I couldn't see the Isle. Don't you have me staring at the.
What's the fucking Isle of Wight? Where's the Isle of Wight?
I know that's the Isle of Skye. How dare you?
What are you done with it?
Did you push it back? Going. You're staring at Orkney from John.
We got 20 seconds. Let's go.
Fucking hell. The Tigers get a walkover versus Dunfermline because Dunfermline are shit cunts.
Not even.
Yorkshire versus Scunthorpe.
I'm gonna go Yorkshire.
Fuck it, I'll take the other way then. I'll take Scunners.
Cool.
Can't wait to lose this one. Can't wait to come back next week and have your smug cunting face at them. I knew it was gonna happen. You fuck.
Samwell Birmingham.
It's got to be the Bulls, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah. Bulls. Same Romans Giants. I think Romans have got that one.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And then we get to the most difficult division in the land.
Oh mate, I got no fucking idea what to do with this.
I love it. I love it.
Where's fucking give me a two-sided die, also known as a coin.
Two-sided die.
Hornet Stallions.
I'm happy to just go with whoever you don't. Honestly.
Right. Well, you can have the Stallions winning it because I'm going to pick against them. Because they did me wrong. They did me dirty. No, I can't. I'm going to pick the Stallions.
Okay, so I'll go for the Hornets then.
You're taking the Hornets.
And then same here, mate. I like same with this game. I'll just take whoever you don't because I honestly can see it go either way.
Who's the other one on this one?
Blitz B and the Norwich Devils.
Oh, this was a really close one.
Pick the tie,
mate. I did that.
I know you did. Three ties in a row you went for, didn't you?
No, yeah, I went for a third tie. Yeah. What was going to be more likely? One of the teams won, or fucking Colchester had a third tie in a row. What was I thinking? This was a really niggly game.
You want me to pick one?
Do you want to? I was going to say I picked the Stallions first, so you get to pick this first this time.
I will go Blitz B.
Right, so I've got the Hornets then.
Yeah. So you've got the Devils.
Yeah.
So I've picked both home teams, both London home teams.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but okay, Hornets Stallions. Does the home away really fucking matter?
No, they're really close. They're like,
like, let's not make it out like there's a big amount of travel going on in that game.
No, but it's still the home side.
There's a whole bunch. There's probably a whole bunch of players that play for Wembley that live closer to the Hornets anyway, and vice versa.
Definitely. Right, SFC 1 West, the Cheetahs versus the Apache.
I'm taking the Cheetahs. I'm still. They haven't lost. They haven't proved me wrong yet.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cheetahs. I think.
Okay then.
Still need your Oyster card. Do they still do Oyster cards? I thought you just scanned your watch now or whatever.
I think you can scan your card, your watch, or your Oyster card.
Wow.
I've still got an Oyster card.
What a time to be alive.
I know, right? Technology.
Let's hear it for technology.
Woo! Gateshead, your favorite team. Gateshead versus the Wakefield District Raiders.
I'm going for the Raiders.
Yeah.
I know you like that because I would say heart says Raiders, head says Senators, but I'm going for the Raiders.
I'll take the Senators. I'll be a fucking contradictory cunt for you.
No, that's not contradictory. That's
right.
Kicking
I'm taking Humber, so you get Doncaster.
No way. I'm Humber as well.
Yeah, Doncaster. Yeah, for Steve. Yeah, cool. You all heard it. Steve's back in the Mustangs.
Yeah.
Surge Railroaders. I'm picking the Surge.
Surge.
The Railroaders are dummy dirty, man. They're just. This is definitely a pray for Donny versus Humber. Oh. The Railroaders are dummy dirty. I picked them against the Bombers, and they just shat the bed.
Stitched it right up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, Miners Revolution.
Excuse me?
Lee Shropshire.
Mate, this was a 1-point game last time they played.
I know. I'm going for the Lee Miners.
Yeah,
I love them.
All right, I'll take the Revs. Okay. Yeah, I wanted the Miners, but I was going to let you pick first.
Oh, thank you.
I think the Miners win this one.
Okay. Oh, this is the big one we were talking about earlier.
Is this Hereford?
Swindon Hereford in SFC 2 Central.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do with this one.
Pick one, I'll pick the other. Let's do that again. Do you want to go first?
It's kind of what we've been doing the whole way along.
Yeah.
Swindon's a weird one. Like, what the fuck have they been up to?
No. They've been up to winning games. That's what they've been up to, mate.
Yeah. But then they got slapped by Berkshire.
Flip a coin. Flip a two-sided die.
Yeah. Flip my two-sided die. Fuck it. I'm taking Hereford. You can have Swindon.
Okay, thank you. Give me the home team again, idiot.
Teams can travel well in Britball.
Yeah, I know. Not well. Hereford to Swindon's not too much of a trek either. The game. This is a live stream game we're going to be doing this week. So me, Ted, Mike are going to be at the Berkshire Renegades versus Ouse Valley Eagles.
Are you just walking down, eh?
I know. Honestly, mate, it's awesome. I've been fucking all over the place, this year so far. So it's nice to have a close one. But I will go for the Berkshire Renegades.
Yeah, I'm taking the Renegades as well.
Okay.
Yeah. No, sorry, Eagles.
These two are very difficult to call,
mate. East Kent, give me East Kent.
No, I mean it's both games. Okay. No, I'm going to go Ipswich.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. All right. Billy Big Bollock.
I've stuck my neck. I'm trying to help you out here with this.
Yeah, mate. I think I'm probably gonna get about 4 right. I'm not feeling good about a lot of mine.
This next one, I think, is a tough one to call,
mate. This is the blind leading the fucking blind.
Can I go first? Or do you want to?
Nah, you got to go first last time. I fucking hate.
No, I fucking hate. You just picked Kent Mavericks. He's Kent Mavericks.
Nah, that wasn't a real going first time one. You would have picked Ipswich anyway.
Oh, right,
I fucking hate it, but I'm picking Sussex.
Oh, good. Oh shit! No, that's what I wanted. Okay, cool. I'll go East Essex.
Yeah,
I got well excited then.
I think Sussex win this.
Yeah, I do. But I'll go East Essex because I think this one does have a chance of going either way.
Yeah. Well, Dreadnoughts Monarchs. So you want the Monarchs, yeah?
We both want the Dreadnoughts here. Come on.
No. Come on. Just let me put you down for them. I need this.
4 games that I've already given you like 3 games where I picked the underdog.
I need this. You and your home teams. You've got all the home.
You're from fucking New Zealand.
Yeah, they're all away games to me.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I'm fucking live streaming from New Zealand though.
Okay. Whoever went to school in Portsmouth can pick Portsmouth.
All right. Whoever's actually played for the Dreadnoughts can pick the Dreadnoughts. Where's your Dreadnoughts team jersey? Just let me know.
Your one doesn't even fit you. You don't even fucking go on about it.
It definitely does, just not on the shoulders. Got hinge.
I would play for the Dreadnoughts, but I've always been playing for Prem level teams. So,
mate, you haven't played for a Prem level team in like 5 years. So don't give me that fucking bullshit. Don't you dare.
Got you. What? Why is everyone sucking up to us? Why wouldn't I get one?
Because you've got all the money. You've got your own website. I'm broke.
I've got money. I've got the money, have I?
I couldn't afford to go find a new cat. I had to find the old one.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to
get a new one.
Yeah, you would have. You would have treated it like a car. Oh, I don't like this one. It's not working properly. Let me get a new one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. See, here I am struggling, right? And you're like, oh, let me just beat the rain by turning on my heated seats. Everyone else would have had to put cardboard up in the window to hold the rain out. And you're just like, no, heated seats. I'm good.
You'll get them, mate. When you're my age, you'll be fine.
Man, when I'll be your age, I'll be dead.
Yeah, probably.
What are you like? What are you now? Like 44, 45?
No, 40.
And the rest?
No, I'm 40.
Really? Tell your face.
No. Well, if I had a shave, mate, I reckon I'll pass myself off as about 13, 14 years old.
And that's why you're not allowed near schools anymore.
Yeah, no, we're at Facebook.
Just the coppers walking past you. You shaved today, Steve. Stay in the house.
I think the shaved head makes me look older as well. Yeah, I need a new number plate. My number plate on my new car.
What does it say? Like nonce?
If you flip 2 of the letters around, transpose 2 of the letters, and ignore the numbers.
There's some mental gymnastics going on.
That's how people read license plates.
If you change my number plate completely,
and
read something else.
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, but take away the numbers and then just look at the letters and then flip 2 around. It spells vulva.
Oh.
So
If you add a V, a U, an L, a B, and an A to my number plate, it spells vulva.
Vulva, yeah. So it's the last two, I think, are flipped round.
So it's the pussy wagon.
Yeah, I've got a personalised plate I can put on there, but I haven't got my V5 back, or I haven't got my V5, so I can't do anything yet. But yeah, drive around in it. Yeah, that's it. That's what my license plate looks like.
So the dyslexic people are chuckling every time you.
Yeah. Well, Mike jumped on it straight away.
He looks dyslexic.
Yeah.
No, I love him. Mike. I do. Is he wearing an army helmet in his?
Yeah, some sort of army helmet. It got Moist Sunday. Yeah, all the jokes keep coming. Mike is full of jokes.
He's a grotty man. He's a grotty man.
It did get wet Sunday because I left the window open.
But seat dryer.
Well,
took care of it.
It's not. It's just a heated seat.
So heated seat will dry out a vulva. You're telling me?
Yeah,
that's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me.
I might let you look at it one day.
No. World War II US pattern. Jesus Christ. Mike's going tank warfare for your next game.
He's ready. He's fucking ready, mate. When it kicks off, he's the sort of person you want to be knocking the door and be around.
He's the man you want in the trenches beside you.
Trenches, mate. That's World War II stuff. He's ready for World War III. It's drones and.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, Mike was there in World War II, wasn't he?
Yeah.
100%.
It's actually a hat he took off of one of the insurgents.
The insurgents. Yeah. We are done.
Mate, we're 12 minutes. This is the worst stream ever.
This is the worst way to end the stream for sure.
Well,
for anybody who saw the ending last week,
subject, the national prem, and then it got into whole league alignments. But it was nice to talk about that stuff. I feel like that's going to be my answer for the next couple of years at least. Is
what realigning the complete.
Just what I'll say. Just go and watch this stream with Oz, and he'll tell you all about it. He's the man that Steve would have in front,
shaking hands with the opposition,
hiding behind him, poking everyone, modelling for advantage. Yeah, this is his YouTube. Mike's a kind of a big deal on in the Warhammer world.
Okay. That's
honestly,
cool.
Man, like,
no. I love
the amount of conversations he has. People just clock something that he's wearing or his bag or whatever, and then they're gone for like 20 minutes going into it.
And the stream has gone off on tangent, and 20 points have gone up.
I'll just switch it off.
You're like, Mike, can we get some input? It's a great running back.
Yeah, he's just talking about painting his little figures.
Can I interest you in these little?
Yeah. But Mike's a big deal in it. So if you guys are into your Warhammer, that's another Warhammer to spot. No, we're looking for sponsors for our live streams.
Games Workshop. Get Games Workshop to sponsor our league.
Yeah. But modeling for advantage. Have a look at his YouTube channel if you guys are into Warhammer, man. Because Mike gets he they review content. Like they get to review new equipment or storylines or books or stuff that comes out with it. He's like well involved in it. His YouTube channel's got more than Sport Tanks in terms of subs.
Well, I mean, he's talking about something that's worldwide. We're talking about Britball.
Yeah, we're talking about this.
We're talking about a very. I try to explain Britball to the Americans I know that follow the NFL and stuff, and they're like, so your CEO of your national game plays another sport.
No. On the board, two boards of another sport.
And I'm like, yeah. So what happens is when all the massive decisions have to be made for our sport, he just sets up a cricket net and buggers off.
Yeah, he just closes his laptop and drives up to Old Trafford. Almost 7,500 subscribers. What a dude.
Mate, Mike's got an OnlyFans ready to pop.
Yeah. He's awesome. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, we haven't got any fancy ending. Last week
with my wife this evening, you fucking ruined that.
Last week, Steve told everybody to get fucked and hung up the call.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, that was funny.
Just ended it very abruptly.